Hello, and welcome to another Wargames Factory review.
By the War Bunker.
By the War Bunker. This
Lots
time,
of war in there.
Yeah, this time it's the Ashigaru Missile Troops, 16th century. Again, it contains 25 figures, and again...
Highly customizable.
Highly customizable, and generally all-round good models.
These ones have been all made as bowmen.
Yeah, this kit does allow you to make both...
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just...
bowmen and...
Musketeers.
Musketeers.
It was an interesting period of history because Europeans were actually introducing gunpowder back to Japan because, of course, gunpowder originated from the East.
Yes.
Was kind of
China.
perfected in European land battles, and then kind of we brought muskets back. And indeed, if you've read some of the Shogun or the Last Samurai, the influence of gunpowder eventually really leads to the end of the samurai.
Yeah, as they become more westernized and kind of lose their...
Gunpowder takes over, basically.
So, we'll just start as we do always with the banner and sergeant. This banner is taken from the Ashigaru set, and the little... I don't know what these are called. The little kind of like... I'm assuming they're like a flag symbol that they use to say go or something, but that's taken from the cavalry set.
I do seem to remember, actually, from the Heroes and Villains episode that we watched, that they gave instructions across the battlefield, and something like semaphore using the flags.
Yeah, that's kind of what I remember. That's why I wanted to do a that little thing there, because in the kit, in the sprue, which we'll show you in a minute, there is a little kind of fire stick, which is meant to be given to the sergeant.
I don't think they gave complex instructions, but I think it was simply that they would give signals, like a flare or a rocket, to signal that somebody needs to do something. Or
so for this kit, I decided to glue both the arrows and the banners to the back of them, because I was watching The Last Samurai and the Heroes and Villains episode.
Shogun episode.
As well as just doing some general research, and I found that they did actually carry the arrows, and they did wear a banner in most cases. So I did decide to do that. I did have to cut some of the sides of the quiver. I'm assuming I'm just going to call it a quiver, to make sure it did fit on the back. But in some of the artwork, it just either shows them with the quiver or with the banner. So I decided to just go a bit off and just put both on, because, I did my research, so I don't. I made sure it was right.
Hoping as well, we should be able to find the TV miniseries from the 80s called The Shogun, which is currently out of print, because that always happens when you're trying to look for a DVD. It had its 30th anniversary a few years ago, and they released a version for it, and we're like, yay! So, it's out. It's out of stock everywhere in New Zealand, because New Zealand.
Yeah, these guys were a lot easier to build than the samurai. Again, the only complaint I kind of have about the set is that they're all kind of firing, which is kind of annoying, because I would have liked some of them to look like they were reloading or just getting the stuff out. But that's just a minor...
They're all braced to fire.
Minor thing.
Again, I think it comes back to the action thing. If you look at the sprue, actually, because compared to the samurai one, where you actually have an empty hand and you have to fit each sword, you can see that the bows...
Yes, the bows are built into the hands, which is very nice, because I was expecting to have to glue the bow to the hand, which then would have very annoyed me. But unfortunately, they're kind of, for the guns, for the muskets, you're gonna have to glue them to the hands.
I thought it was somewhere else.
Right there.
That's probably
separate.
The reason why you were.
And then you got the arrows.
And I guess really mixing with the samurai, you could probably use some of your excess to make more musketeers if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, this only allows you to build four archers on this set, and then either a sergeant or a gunman, which is kind of annoying. This was the firing stick I was talking about. I don't know if they use that when they, because on the box art it shows the guy kind of with that saying, for firing the muskets, but I don't know if they use that for the archers. So that's why I went with the little flag thing, because I thought maybe that was more correct. I couldn't find if that was right or not.
By the way, if you do know any really useful articles on 16th century Japanese warfare, that would be really useful. Obviously, most of what we're going by is what's been dramatized.
Yeah, by Hollywood.
Which may or may not be a good way of going. And we'd as Cameron has mentioned, I would just paint them up in the colour scheme I liked and call them something. But Cameron is really keen on going for authenticity here.
Yeah, and again, all my guys have got their swords, or their katanas, and the little short swords as well, in case they got into close combat. So this has been the review for the Ashigaru missile troops. Stay tuned to our last video in this samurai series, which is going to cover the cavalry. Take care, and goodbye.